And breaking news coming at this point of time, IDF says it has launched a fresh wave of strikes on IRGC terror targets in Iran. Iranian media reports a renewed Israeli attack on Tabriz. And this, of course, comes after Iran's Khamenei warned Israel of strikes and of painful retaliation. And that's the news coming in. The IDF has said that it has launched a fresh wave of strikes on IRGC terror targets in Iran. Iranian media reports a renewed Israeli attack on Tabriz. Ambassador Suri, thank you for waiting here with us. Just to take this forward, do you think there's any room for negotiation at this point of time? Because what we're also learning is that the IDF has said that it has launched a fresh wave of strikes on IRGC terror targets in Iran. And of course, Iran and the people in Iran vowing that there would be a strong response to all the strikes.
Well, it's ironic that you say that because negotiations were already happening, right, in Oman, and they've now been disrupted by the Israeli strikes. I think, look, there's always a need for negotiations, but is this the right time for them? I guess, you will need to see at a minimum Israel having the satisfaction that they have achieved some of their stated objectives. Iran having the satisfaction that it has managed to salvage some of its prestige and honor by maybe delivering a blow or two. And then there is the underlying question which Prime Minister Netanyahu kind of hinted at in his comments. What is the end game? Is it just taking out Iran's nuclear facilities or setting them back by a few years? Or is it regime change that is the end game that they are looking at? If you look at some of the targeted strikes at the key personnel and the hints that Prime Minister Netanyahu threw at the Iranian people, you worry. Is that the direction in which this is headed?
Ambassador Suri, earlier we were joined by a journalist from Tehran who said that Iran is also preparing for its strikes on Israel. How do you assess what kind of retaliation can we expect from Iran towards Israel?
Iran has a mix of cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and drones. And in fact, Iran has some fairly good quality drones which are being used quite effectively in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. But remember that it's a pretty long distance from Iran to the Israeli border. It has to go right across Iraq and Jordan, even if it were to take the shortest route. And Israel has probably the world's best air defense systems. So the ability of Iran to deliver substantive blows on Israel would be questionable, I think, at this point of time. But, one of the things that we learned, including in the recent conflict with Pakistan that we had after Pahalgam in Operation Sindoor, is that a war situation is full of surprises. So never say never. And I think it's best to stay humble and modest and to say that I really don't know what course it's going to take in the next 24 and 48 hours and what surprises might be springing up.
Ambassador Suri, my last question to you. If we perhaps compare the current tensions and the hostilities that we're witnessing between Iran and Israel towards what happened last year, how perhaps has things changed and how will Iran's response also change this time around?
I think one of the reasons that Israel has chosen this point of time to launch these strikes, regardless of Prime Minister Netanyahu's protestations that Iran was on the verge of achieving its nuclear objectives. Israel has been saying that for about 15 years, that Iran has been on the verge of achieving its enrichment levels that enable it to develop nuclear weapons. So if you put that aside, I think one reason that they chose this timing is that post the 2024 clash that happened, Israel finds itself in a much stronger position. Iran's principal ally in the region was Hezbollah, that has been very substantially weakened, not finished. They still might retain some capacity to strike towards Israel, but very substantially weakened. Iran's own air defenses were very substantially weakened during that attack a year back. And Iran today probably finds itself in a weaker military and economic position than it's been in the last decade or more. So if you are an Israeli prime minister and being opportunistic, then there's probably never a better time than now to strike at Iran, knowing also that in President Trump, you probably have unlimited backing.
Ambassador Suri, thank you so much for joining us here on WION and sharing your insights here with us.
Thank you very much.